All right, let's try this again. So for me, caring is a combination of all of the core values wrapped into one. I think that's usually why it's listed as number one. I was at a conference recently with an inspirational speaker, and he said, do you ever wonder why we get so upset at Susie for forgetting to pass that 6 a.m. Synthroid, or when we come on shift and we find Mr. Smith hasn't had his MRI that he needs, or that he actually needed yesterday? Well, we get upset because we care. And also, the main reason why nurses experience burnout is because we care. So, we all want our days to go a certain way because we care enough about our patients to be passionate about them. And when those things don't always turn out right, that's where we end up getting a little bit angry. But being a caring nurse resonates with the patients. And because I believe that everything in the universe has energy and energy transfer. So for example, I'm a morning person, so I make it my goal in the morning to come in with smiles and positivity, and I've got a big blue foam hand that I high five patients and of course the clean ones and my staff with, just to get them pumped up for their day. I mean, you can tell the people are just like, oh my God, it's morning. Or not me, I'm coming in with the high five, I'm getting everybody rolling. I'm usually the last person people want to see in the morning if you're not a morning person. But I care about that, and I want to impact the patient's days. Plus, I feel like if I'm impacting my staff's days and making them smile, that energy is then going to transfer to the patients as well. And I want them to feel that. That's what fulfills me through my day. The reason I became a nurse may be different from others, because it started out just because I wanted to get rid of coal mining. I hated that job. I didn't feel a calling. Admittedly, I never dreamed of being a nurse. My dream was to be a rock star. That was my thing. I was going to play guitar, but I was a coal miner. Ended up being that way for 6 years. Back where I'm from, that's what you usually do if you're not skilled or educated. You become a coal miner. I knew I needed to change. I hated it. My cousin, he stepped in. He's like, he's a mentor type father figure to me. He's like, I think you'd be good at doing this nursing gig. But it wasn't until I started doing clinicals and things like that until I kind of found out that I actually enjoyed what I was doing. Yeah, I always played in bands from the time I was 16, and I thought nothing could get me as high as that stage and that energy transfer on that stage. But I found that out that whenever I started doing my clinical experiences, that the energy I was giving to the patients, that was also transferring back to me, and that was fulfilling my day. And that's how I started to enjoy nursing. And also being a patient once before, that experience has now proved itself to be continuously valuable. I can fall back on that with my patients often. And in my current role in management, I get the luxury of just just going in and having a chat with patients from time to time, boosting my team, having a chat with the patients to find out how my team's doing. All those types of things that just set up for a good energy transfer for me, and being able to give back. So the way that I coach my teams, my own individual efforts, caring is just, to me, is just much more than just being able to fake through another day. I'll never forget watching my first death, how that made me feel. And that's just because I cared about what I was doing. I remember specific moments where I was the one that did compressions to save a life, and how that made me feel, because I cared enough to keep going. And I think it's important to remind ourselves why we became nurses. And so, lastly, my calling, like I said, it wasn't being a nurse, but it has become something more than just a calling for me, because I imagine my granny in that bed, my kids, my wife, myself. And so those people deserve every bit of the care that I have, and what I can give to them. So that's what keeps me going, and how much I can affect my team filling their cup so that they then fill my cup with their positivity. That's it.